In this module, we're going to walk you through a demo of how you can upload a vector data set through your Maps engine console. Next, use that data set in a layer and apply some styling. And finally, bundle it in a map and share it out. To get started, we will first log into your Maps engine account. Once logged in, you can click on this upload icon to choose whether you want to use single dataset upload option or the folder upload. This demo, let's stick to the single upload option. And since we know that we're going to be uploading a vector dataset, let's choose vector table, click on the browse button, and choose the files that make up the dataset. One of the common mistakes people do here is forgetting to include all the files. So you want to make sure that all the files that make up the data set are included in the upload. Also, you want to give a meaningful name to this data set. Let's call this demo 1. Give a description. Demo. And also some tags to define this data set. Giving it meaningful tags will allow you to easily sieve through the growing number of data sets and be able to look for the specific data set that you're interested in. Once you've filled up all these details, click on upload, and the upload will begin almost immediately. Once all the files are read and uploaded, it will kick off the processing of these files, and you'll be able to make use of this refresh button on the top right to check the status of the processing. Depending on the size of the files, this may take anything between a few seconds to a few minutes. Now, once you can see this green colored message that says vector table was processed, it's an indication that your files were uploaded and successfully processed. It is in the stage that the thumbnails are generated, and you'll be able to click on this thumbnail here to take a look at the data set that was uploaded. Pretty useful information on the data details page. Right on top here, you'll be able to check the type of data set, which is obviously vector, the information that we keyed in during the upload, the tags, the description, and so on and so forth, and also the access list, which is the group of people with whom this data set is shared. In the middle of this page, you will see important metadata information about your data set, like the kind of geometry for the features included in the data set, the number of features, bed features. Also, bounds information here gives you the most ideal viewport when displaying the map in order to contain all the features described in this data set. Right at the bottom is the list of all the files that make up the data set with their sizes, and also a link to download them. So you can try this by clicking on the download link. What this is going to do is download all the files in a zip format. Upon unzipping, you will find all the files that you had uploaded in their original format and projection. Now that our vector data set has been uploaded and processed, we're ready to use it in a layer and apply some styling. So there's more than one way of creating a layer. You could either use this drop-down list and use the create layer link, or if you're already looking at the data details section of a particular data set, you can easily click on create style layer, which is going to automatically include this data set in a new layer. So let's give this a layer name. Let's call it demo 1 layer. This will go ahead and create the layer and bring you to the style editor page. The style editor page is where you can apply display rules onto your data set features. Display rules allow you to control what content you want to display and how you want to display them. So let's go ahead and create the first rule. Each display rule is applicable for a certain range of zoom levels. So I'm going to adjust the zoom range. It goes from 5 to 24. but let's keep rule number 1 to apply for zoom levels 5 till 10. And since this is point data, I have a bunch of predefined marker objects or icons from which I can choose. I'm going to use a red colored balloon to symbolize the features. And the final step is to add a filter. A filter is very much like the where clause of a SQL statement. With the help of this filter, I can choose which features from the existing data set will I display from zoom level 5 till 10. So let's go ahead and choose the place attribute. I'm going to use the equal sign as the operator, and I'm going to use locality as the value. So what this means is I'm only going to display features whose place attribute has the value of locality. All other entries within the data set will be ignored when I display the map between zoom levels 5 and 10. I'm going to go ahead and click on apply. Clicking on apply starts the processing of this layer, and once that is done, you'll be able to view the results within the style editor. Now if you notice, under zoom levels 5 to 10, I see the exact icon that I had set for the features that I wanted to display according to this filter condition right here. Now for the sake of completeness, let's add another display rule. This time we set it to a zoom level that starts from 11 all the way up till 24. And I'm going to go ahead and change this to a whole different icon so it will be easy to distinguish between display rule number 1 and 2. And in display rule number 2, I am not going to include a filter. So what that means is all the features that do not match the filter condition of display rule number 1 will be displayed in display rule number 2 as I go from zoom level 10 to zoom level 11 and higher. So sometimes it's good to toggle between the display rules because it kind of highlights the number. Sometimes it's not easy to see from the slider which number you're at. So by toggling, I realized that this starts from 12, whereas display rule number 1 stops at 10. So let me readjust this so that it starts at 11. There we go. Now it starts from 11. Click on the apply. We're not still able to see the effect of this because I'm still within the zoom. I'm at zoom level 9 right now, which is within the zoom level that is described for rule number 1. So what I'm going to do is center the map here and start scrolling in, thereby increasing the zoom level. Now what you see as a result of display rule number 2 kicking in, the markers that were displayed within zoom level 5 to 10 disappear, and all the features that did not match the condition laid out in display rule number 1 appear in display rule number 2 as I moved on from zoom level 10 into higher zoom levels. As I zoom back out, you notice what we expected just happened. All the green looking markers or features disappeared, and I'm presented back with the initial set of features that match display rule number 1. Apart from creating display rules within the style editor, the other thing you can do is control the look and feel of the info window. So we can click on the info window tab, and here all the attributes are listed by default. So if I don't want to display all the attributes in the info window, I get rid of everything. And by using this drop down list, I can choose specific attributes to be included in the info window. So let's say I choose name, and let's add one more place. So by making this change, what this means is when I click on an icon, the info window that gets displayed will only display the place and the name attributes from the data set. Let's go ahead and apply this. And once the processing is done, when I click on any of the feature icons, I should see only those two items of information, which is what we expected right here. Once you're happy with all the changes in the style editor, you could either check this checkbox so that the layer gets published on exit, or if you prefer to publish it in the layer details page, you can choose to do so. Now click on the refresh button to make sure that the layer has been published. Once the layer is published, you can use it in a map and share it out with an access list. Once you've successfully processed and published the layer, you're ready to bundle it in a map and share it out with viewers. So the first step is to create a map. There's more than one way to do this. You could either click on the create map link here, or if you're already looking at the layer which you intend to use in the map, you will have the option of adding it to a map. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this link, add to map. You could either add it to an existing map or create a new one. Let's create a new one and give it a name, demo1 map. Hit the create button. What this is going to do is create the map and include the layer as one of the layers within the map. Click on view details here, and these are the details of the map. One thing to notice is the map has been processed, but it's not published yet, and that's the reason why the published links are not active. So click on this button and give it a few seconds for it to publish. And by refreshing the page, we see that the map has been published, and now the links are active. These links allow us to visualize the map in various clients, for example, the browser or Google Earth client, and we're going to try out exactly that. Let's start with the Google Maps link. I'm going to click on this link, and what this does is it launches the map within the browser using the default built-in map viewer. And on the top left, you will see a panel that allows you to control the visibility of the layers that are part of the map. By checking and unchecking this checkbox, you can make the layer appear and disappear. Also, if you pan away from the part of the map where your data is overlaid, you can at any time click on the zoom to area link right here to adjust the viewport of the map so that it centers on where most of your feature data is available. This text box right here works like the search box on maps.google.com whenever you're searching addresses, and it implements the autocomplete function. As you type addresses, it will present you a drop-down link of addresses which you can choose from. So let's try enter 3507 Palmilla and choose one of the options. What this is going to do is going to center the map to the address that you selected from the drop-down list. That was the Google Maps link. Now, if you want to visualize the same map within Google Earth client, you can do that by first copying this link. Next, you launch Google Earth. The first thing you want to do once you've launched Google Earth is sign into Maps engine. Irrespective of whether the map has been shared with a public or a private access list, you will need to sign in. So I'm going to use the same account that was used to create this map. Once logged in, you're going to be presented with a list of maps that this particular user you've logged in with has access to. You could load any of the maps by clicking on the links, or you can use the Advanced tab and paste the Google Earth published link that was available from within the Maps engine console. Once you're done with that, click on the Connect to Globe button, and what happens is that map is included as one of the layers available within Google Earth. Expand that by clicking on this icon and double click on the layer. This is going to adjust the globe and bring you to where your data is centralized.